How are you doing, lads and lassies? We are back on the Grim Dawn today doing some stuff. I did bump the difficulty up to veteran, so hopefully it's a little bit more exciting than everything just falling apart immediately as soon as we walk up to it, but it doesn't look like there's gonna be much change, which is fine. I don't like resistance when I'm killing my enemies, so we'll turn them into enemy butter just the same. Oh, we're getting fumbled. We're getting fumbled. Stop healing. Okay. Heal myself. We do have our pneumatic burst now, though we are going to get a little bit of health coming out when we need it with that button. We're also getting... What else does this do? Health regen and total speed increase, which is never a bad thing. Walking fast, moving quick doesn't ever sound like a bad idea to me. So, keep popping our Siphon Souls, which has gotten significantly better with the number of points that we put into it. The area of effect is much larger, and the ether damage is just spraying the boys down, you know what I'm saying? Spraying and saying. That is the lore. Let's see. It is maxed out, though. So the only thing left for us to do is to put points into Blood Boil. Vitality to ether. This isn't... Vitality decay. I don't know if this is going to affect this, so I don't really want to put any more points into that. Let's go through that lore. Let's see what we've got here. Loyalty through blood. News has reached us that through the tendrils of night that the ritual to the west has failed. Blood Lord Thalatos himself has fallen. Under the weight of these tragedies, there are some among you who would surrender their faith, cease their devotion, and abandon our great cause. This will not be tolerated. You must maintain your fealty or find yourself hanged and drained with the rest of the faithless rabble. This is merely another in a long series of tribulations that line our path to greatness. Chthon challenges us, tests our faith, but we must not falter. You, the unyielding children of blood, must seek out the weakest among you and punish them for their faltering will. Thalatos is gone, but another will rise in his place, and faithful shall be rewarded in kind. Through devotion to Chthon and dedication to our cause, we will find a way once more. Ulto Trigue, Grand Priest. Sounds like some people aren't super set on being blood cultists anymore now that the world isn't going to end. So, let's go kill the shit out of those guys, make sure they know never to join a fucking blood cult ever again. And, you know, just deal with the other group of invading alien body snatchers. Oh, alright, let's see, where are we at? More chthonic seals. I've been playing a lot of the Crucible lately on my, what's it called? It's an occultist soldier. It's a Witchblade, that's what it's called. Fucking amazing name, BTW. Highly recommend. It is one of the tankiest classes that I've ever played, but that's where I've been putting a lot of my time. So, the Reaper and Spellbreakers here are both around the same level still, both around the same point in the story, but I'm definitely fleshing out the tankier builds a little bit harder because they're so much easier to play. Even by yourself, or especially if you have a group, playing tank just makes you literally carry through those Crucible runs. Because as long as you can survive and your damage can get back to life in the next round, you're the whole reason that everything can continue on. But right now, though, since those characters are only about level 60 or so, we're only up to about wave 160-ish. So we haven't hit the insane loot drops yet from the Crucible runs, but a little bit more grinding and we'll get there. Just a wee little bit, and if our Arcanist player comes back to us and uses his death beams, then we'll be singing. We'll be right as rain. Oh, God. I can't wait till this character comes. Cannot wait. Warder is still my highest level at the moment, which is our Shaman Soldier. He's sitting at about 80. And I need to finish grinding her up so we can hit that level 100 cap and really feel the end game out. Because that's kind of where I want to go with the series once we run out of story stuff to do. But if I don't have anybody in that range, it's going to be awfully difficult to make it entertaining. So, just is so good. That's just so good. So Veteran is keeping them alive a little bit longer as they run towards us, but they still die immediately after we start whapping them. So, not the worst thing in the world, but certainly it's a little bit boring. I'll be honest with you. This is when enemies run up and die. If bosses were running up and dying and all that stuff was happening, I'd be totally down with that. But then again, no, that'd probably be super boring too, because it'd just be like easy mode. And I don't want easy mode. I want difficult mode so that I may have some fresh, sweet loots and more points. More my skills. Launching our Bone Harvest. We are, so let's see, where are we at next in our skill tree that we want to max? I think both of our auras are good right now, with the exception of the, so the Veil of Shadow I don't think has a maxed out radius yet, but it does have maxed out damage from its augment. And then, obviously our Siphon Souls is maxed out. Instant death. And our Bone Harvest is, I think, about a quarter of the way there. It doesn't have many points into the augments either. They have a lot of like extra gear points going into the Bone Harvest on top of that, so I may in fact only have 1 or 2 points in that skill. Not that it's a huge staple of our build at the moment. Obviously, just standing around and auto-attacking is where most of our damage is coming from, but it's going to be nice to have some activatable abilities. I also probably need to invest in, well, no, this is our cheat death. Our death ward is going to be our cheat death, so we don't have to put any points into a skill to save us at the moment. That's what the death ward is for. It wards off death. Do you want me to say death ward anymore? I could say it at least 3 or 4 more times. Death ward. It's the item that we're wearing. The death ward? I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's called a death ward, and it wards off death. Oathbreaker, Cord of the Ancestor. Let's see. Ring? No, that's ring. This is what we picked up just now. Cold and vitality damage. I do like the cold. Energy absorbed from enemy spells. Not really super necessary. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that. Wraithstalker Band, Vitality, Ether, Vitality. Gotta be level 50. Oh, let's see what else we're working on here. 58, 50, 50, 50, 50, 75, 58. We'll dump this over here because I think I'm going to want it later. What about these? 15% all damage, vitality, movement speed, resistance on the elemental isn't terrible. But again, that's level 50. What about these? What are these doing? 25 Aether resistance. Giving us vitality and Aether damage. Yeah, I think we're going to have to wait and keep those. So we'll toss you over here. Don't need that. Definitely don't need a gun. Boom. Nailed it. Okay. And now I gotta pick up all the green shit so we can sell this back in town. Whew. The amount of fucking speed reading you have to do in a game like this on the time crunch that is a YouTube video is astronomical. So, the fact that I have all this energy in the middle of the night is actually rather pleasant. Rather pleasant. doesn't. I'm going to blame that on all the caffeine and sugar in the soda that I'm drinking, pizza, and eating. It's good stuff. Being trapped in your home instead of working is actually very good for playing video games. Who would have known? Right, let's heal up. Probably going to want to pop a potion soon. Crap. Right. The ground's on fire too much, so I'm not going to be able to really kill that bad boy unless he walks off of it. We are kind of looking for Dravis's sister, who is out and about here in... Oh my, oh me, oh my. Let me move, please. Blink over there. Nailed it. I cannot remember her name. We found her diary a little bit earlier, and we read from it. We kept her secret, but she is out in the breach here somewhere, and I want to find her because I do want to dig into that line of story a little bit harder because I think it's kind of cool. Side quest. Let's see. Are you over here? Shop. Missive to the Morndale Bloodbound. No. I don't need any of you guys trying to kill me. Thank you. I think... Yes, we just popped our Death Ward. Which is a little bit upsetting. Because I didn't feel like any of those guys were doing a ridiculous amount of damage. So, let's see. What else have we got here? Lore. Brothers and sisters of blood, disturbing rumors have reached my ears. Rumors that some of you have begun questioning our cause, questioning those who hear the calling of the void. You believe you have been misled by false prophets, but allow me to reassure you. I had my loyal bloodbinders bring forth 36 of those who would question our resolve in these trying times. Through their lack of vision, yours shall be rewarded. Their blood shall serve where their wills could not. Behold the fruit of their sacrifice. New rifts that reach into the very heart of the dead god's realm. Through them shall arise the agents of torment, beings of pure darkness that will spill forth the blood that is rightfully Chthon's. Do not dread, my brothers and sisters. Your faith in Chthon is not misplaced. We will not allow the failures of one to delude our grand cause. We will call into the darkness, and the darkness will bring forth such might as to shake the very foundations of Cairn. A new day of reckoning will come, a day where the faithful shall stomp out the false gods and restore the glory of Chthon. Well, guy, that sounds awfully foreboding. Like the big vagina-faced motherfucker that we killed in the first stretch of the game wasn't bad enough. And then the other harbinger of darkness keeping Ulgrim all contained. Turns out neither of them were actually very difficult to kill because we just killed things so effectively. So I guess here is our kind of big learning moment. When we popped our Death Ward earlier, the damage that came out of those enemies I wasn't really expecting. It's chaos damage. So our resistances are obviously lower than they need to be to continue real far forward into the game here. So we're going to start focusing on armor and abilities and stuff that is going to increase that for us, because I don't want to get caught unawares and get obliterated and lose a bunch of experience or, Port Valkyrie kind of shit. You know, I'm still crying about that. But, ooh, a shrine. Ooh, enemies. The light is green. The enemies are ethereal. The ghosty space farts are inhabiting lots and lots of bodies. Looks like the ethereals have gotten to the point where they're just slapping human bodies together, sticking crystals in them, calling it done. No artistic purpose whatsoever to it. Just gigantic forms of flesh and mass grossness filled with alien dune spirits. I don't know. You get where we're going with that. Right? Ooh, more aether crystals. I love it. You appear to be dead, friend. Sorry. Let's use that. Am I running out of space? I am definitely running out of space. Don't want that there. Don't want that there. I need to go sell all this stuff. How many devotion points are we sitting on? A single point. Pick that bad boy up. Goodbye. Oh. The worst part is, like, I'm not sure. Well, I think it's implied that the human consciousness is still in there with the ethereal when they take over an actual person rather than a corpse. So, when you're like these mage people, you have to sit there and look at all the things that they do with human bodies. And obviously you agreed to it, right? Like, you're down with this because they're just inhabiting your body, not turning you into a meat puppet. I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting it. Like, so the ethereals have control of your body, but you're still in there, and you're still forced to watch. But I think that some of the enemies are, like, siding with the ethereals willfully, and you have to, like, sit there and watch all the meat puppet and, you know, surgical, nonsensical demon spirit flesh garbage going on around you, and how do you not throw up in your soul, you know? Ugh. Ugh. The reaction my friends and I had to the first ethereal pit, or the final ethereal pit in the final boss for this game, was pretty visceral. It was very much like, can we please leave this area? Please. Oh God, stop. You'll see once we get there, but it is fucking disgusting. Okay, that's neat. Spirit Weaver Circlet, Occultist and Arcanist. Neither of which I use. Vitality and Ether damage. I know who would enjoy that. Me, right now, I would. We gotta be level 50. So we don't get to make use of any of the additional skills, but at the same time, the health regen. No, it's energy regen. So energy regen does go up, but we're losing the percentage of it. And the ether damage is going to drop, but we're going to convert chaos damage into ether. Oh, I got a lot of armor. Yes, we're definitely going to be using that, unless this is way better. It is not. So, boom, nailed it. Got it. Now, I do have to go sell off a bunch of stuff, but let's talk to Ulgrim first.
Here we are, Malmedy, the center of industry in the north. Or it was before it all went down the slip. Would have been far too much fun to have the bridge down and waiting for us.
What do we do now?
There's an old sewer outlet not far from here, just down to the west by the river. It was a popular route for smugglers bringing contraband in and out of the Canton district. Now it will serve as our way in. More royal carpet for us. With any luck, we'll run into some of these survivors you spoke of. Take the lead.
I will take the lead, because obviously, I am the greatest. Oh, that's just armor. I thought that was a person standing there. Let's go back to the Coven's Refuge so I can sell off my green items, make some space, and put these points down. We're about to hit level 50, so the points that we have are going to be bottlenecks like a motherfucker. We're only going to be getting those 2 points instead of 3 points per level, which is super sad. Super sad. But that's okay, because as far as I'm concerned right now, our build is actually doing a lot of damage on its own, so there's not a whole lot for us to worry about in terms of slapping down a lot of points really fast. You don't go in there. Working on here, Glacier. anyway, let's put in the points. I will think about that later. What do I want to put these into? Bone harvest, or do we... The radius would increase... Okay, so we're doing ether and cold damage. God! No! Okay, my brain isn't working. I am thinking about the class I was just playing rather than the class that I'm playing now. So this we don't need. It is going to be this. Because Night's Chill, the increase in Night's Chill, the bleeding resistance, and the cold damage are going to outweigh that. Yes. Okay. That makes much more sense. Don't have any space for this. We're going to have to stick it in the cubby. Thanks so much for hanging out, though. That is going to do it for the video today. I think we are going to figure out where these points go in the next video. Probably going to end up being Harbinger of Souls, but I'm going to do some brain powering right now. Thank you again for hanging out. We'll be back next time with the epic second part of whatever we were doing.